Picture this. It is 1975 in Okinawa, Japan. Dr. Makoto Suzuki, a young cardiologist from Tokyo, gets a call about an unusual patient. "Doctor, you need to see this," his colleague says. "There is a 100-year-old woman in Yomatan village who is outside cutting grass with a sickle." Skeptical, Dr. Suzuki drives out, expecting to find a frail elderly woman. Instead, he discovers someone so vibrant, so energetic, that she does not even think she is unusual. That moment changed everything. It sparked a 50-year quest that would unlock secrets hidden inside your body right now, secrets that could literally add decades to your life. But here is what is shocking. While Dr. Suzuki was documenting these incredible centenarians, another Japanese scientist was making a discovery so groundbreaking it would win him the Nobel Prize. Dr. Yoshinori Ohsumi had stumbled upon something extraordinary. Tiny cellular janitors working inside every cell of your body, devouring cancer cells, burning fat, and reversing aging damage. The problem? These microscopic heroes only spring into action under very specific conditions. And here is the kicker. Most of us accidentally shut them down every single day through habits that seem completely harmless. Today, I am going to reveal how these Japanese scientists cracked the code of cellular regeneration, and more importantly, how you can activate this hidden superpower starting tonight. But first, let me tell you about the day that changed Dr. Ohsumi's life forever. It was 1988. Dr. Yoshinori Ohsumi was staring through a microscope at yeast cells, feeling frustrated. For months, he had been trying to understand why cells sometimes seem to eat themselves. Other scientists thought he was wasting his time. "It is just cellular garbage disposal," they said. But Ohsumi had a hunch. He engineered special yeast cells and starved them of nutrients, then watched something incredible happen. Under the microscope, he saw cellular structures he had never seen before, like tiny Pac-Man gobbling up damaged parts of the cell and recycling them into energy and building materials. He had discovered autophagy, literally self-eating, your body's most powerful anti-aging mechanism. This process does not just clean house. It is like having a renovation crew that tears down old, damaged parts of your cells and rebuilds them stronger than before. The scientific world was stunned. Here was proof that your body has a built-in fountain of youth, but there was a catch. Autophagy only activates when your body thinks it is in survival mode, and Dr. Ohsumi realized something that would change everything. The ancient eating habits of Japanese centenarians were accidentally triggering this process every single day. Back in Okinawa, Dr. Suzuki could not get that grass-cutting centenarian out of his mind. He started visiting more elderly residents, and what he found defied everything he knew about aging. These people were not just living longer, they were living better. At 95, they were still farming. At 100, they were still dancing. Their arteries were cleaner than most 50-year-olds. Their cancer rates were practically non-existent. Their secret was not pills or procedures. It was something they did 3 times a day without even thinking about it. After Suzuki discovered they followed an ancient Confucian principle called Hara Hachi. Before every meal, they would quietly remind themselves, "Eat until you are 8 parts full, not stuffed, not satisfied, just comfortably content." Sounds simple, right? But here's what Dr. Suzuki realized was happening. By stopping at 80% fullness, these centenarians were creating the exact conditions needed to flip the autophagy switch. Their cells were getting just enough stress to trigger the cleanup and repair process, but not so much that it became harmful. Picture your cells like a factory. When you are constantly stuffed with food, all the workers are busy processing new materials. There is no time for maintenance. But when you give them a break, when you stop at 80%, suddenly the night shift arrives. They start cleaning, repairing, and throwing out the damaged equipment. But the story gets even more incredible. Enter Dr. Shigeyaki Hinohara, a man who would become a living legend in Japan. This was not just another researcher. This was someone who would prove these principles worked by living them every single day until he was 105 years old. Dr. Hinohara had a revelation early in his career. He noticed that every patient with serious digestive problems also had problems everywhere else in their body. Their skin looked aged, their energy was low, their immune systems were weak. That is when he realized something profound. Your gut health is the master switch for everything else. He developed what he called his life extension protocol, but it was not complicated. Dr. Hinohara would eat a light breakfast, have minimal lunch, and save his main meal for dinner. But here is the key. He would finish eating by 6 p.m. and not eat again until 10 a.m. the next day. That is 16 hours of giving his body time to activate its repair systems. The results were extraordinary. At 100, Dr. Hara was still seeing patients. At 102, he flew to New York to give lectures. He worked 18-hour days and felt more energetic than people half his age. When reporters asked for his secret, he would smile and say, "I give my body time to clean house every night." Meanwhile, Dr. Hiromi Shina was making discoveries that would shock the medical world. This Japanese-American doctor had invented a new way to look inside people's digestive systems. And what he saw changed everything he thought he knew about health. Over 30 years, Dr. Shina examined over 300,000 people's colons. He could predict someone's overall health just by looking at their digestive tract. The people who ate processed foods, lots of meat, and dairy had thick, shortened colons with obvious damage. But the people who ate traditional Japanese diets had colons that were longer, cleaner, and looked decades younger. But here is what really blew his mind. The people with the healthiest guts were those who regularly gave their digestive systems extended breaks. They were not following fancy diets or taking expensive supplements. They were simply mimicking what their ancestors did naturally, eating in a compressed window and fasting for extended periods. Dr. Shina realized that when you constantly stuff your digestive system, it never gets a chance to repair itself. But when you give it 14 to 16 hours of rest, something magical happens. The cells lining your gut start regenerating. Your liver begins its deep cleaning process. Your entire body shifts into repair mode. Now here is where all these discoveries converge into something you can use tonight. Dr. Asumi's Nobel Prize research revealed that autophagy does not just happen randomly. There is a specific window when it becomes most active, and it is not when you think. Most people believe the magic happens during sleep, but that is only part of the story. The real activation occurs in the final hours before you wake up. When your body has been fasting for 12 to 16 hours, that is when your cellular janitors clock in for their most intensive work shift. But here's the problem with modern eating patterns. We shut down this process before it can work its magic. We wake up and immediately flood our systems with food, sending a signal that says, "Cancel the cleanup crew. New shipments are arriving." The Japanese Centenarians discovered something different. They learned to extend that magical window, sometimes stretching it to 16 or even 18 hours. During this time, their cells were not just surviving. They were thriving, rebuilding, and getting stronger. Dr. Suzuki made another fascinating discovery during his decades of research. The Okinawan Centenarians were not just eating less. They were eating completely different foods than the rest of Japan. While most Japanese ate white rice as their primary carbohydrate, Okinawans ate purple sweet potatoes. This was not by accident. These sweet potatoes are packed with compounds that actually enhance autophagy. They are low on the glycemic index, meaning they do not spike your insulin and shut down the cellular cleanup process. Instead, they provide steady energy while keeping your body in a state that promotes cellular repair. But the sweet potatoes were just the beginning. Dr. Suzuki documented how these centenarians filled their plates with bitter melon, seaweed, tofu, and vegetables in every color of the rainbow. Each food was like adding another tool to their cellular repair kit. The bitter melon, for example, contains compounds that help regulate blood sugar and keep insulin low, essential for maintaining autophagy. The seaweed provides minerals that support the detoxification process. The colorful vegetables deliver antioxidants that protect cells during the repair process. Here's a detail that most people miss. These centenarians were not just careful about what they ate, they were strategic about what they drank. Dr. Suzuki noticed that many of his healthiest subjects had a daily tea ritual that lasted for hours. But this was not just about relaxation. The teas they chose, jasmine, green tea, and special Okinawan blends, contained compounds that actually supported the autophagy process. The polyphenols in green tea, for instance, help protect cells during the cleanup and repair phase. Even more interesting, the ritual of slowly sipping tea throughout the day helped them practice portion control without even thinking about it. Another way they accidentally optimized their cellular regeneration. Dr. Hara made a discovery that completely changed how he approached the first meal of the day. Instead of the traditional heavy breakfast, he would start with fresh vegetable juice, usually carrot or apple juice, with a tablespoon of olive oil. This was not just about nutrition. The olive oil helped slow the absorption of sugars, preventing the insulin spike that would shut down autophagy. The vegetable juice provided essential nutrients without overwhelming the digestive system that had been working hard all night to clean and repair. But here's the crucial part. He would drink just half a glass, then wait 20 minutes before eating anything solid. This gave his body time to gently transition from the fasted state to the fed state, maximizing the benefits of both phases. What Dr. Suzuki, Dr. Hara, and Dr. Shina all discovered independently was that timing was not just important, it was everything. The human body operates on ancient rhythms that expect periods of feasting and fasting. When we disrupt these rhythms with constant eating, we break the very mechanisms designed to keep us healthy and young. The optimal pattern they discovered was simple. Finish your last meal by 6 or 7 p.m., go to bed with a slightly empty stomach. Wake up and wait at least 12 hours, preferably 16, before your first substantial meal. During this window, your cellular repair crews are working overtime, fixing damage, eliminating toxins, and literally rebuilding you from the inside out. But here's what makes this different from trendy fasting diets. This is not about deprivation or extreme measures. It is about working with your body's natural rhythms, just like the Centenarians of Okinawa have been doing for generations. Here is the sobering reality. Dr. Suzuki's recent research shows that younger Okinawans are losing their longevity advantage. As they have adopted Western eating patterns, processed foods, constant snacking, late-night meals, their health outcomes are becoming similar to those of Americans. This proves that genetics is not destiny. The centenarians are not living longer because of special genes. They are living longer because of specific behaviors. And the moment those behaviors change, the results change too. But here is the hope. If adopting Western habits can destroy longevity, then adopting centenarian habits can restore it. Your cellular repair systems are waiting, ready to spring into action the moment you give them the right signals. So how do you activate this ancient wisdom? Starting tonight, based on 5 decades of research from these Japanese pioneers, here is your step-by-step activation sequence. Week 1, start practicing Hara Hachi Bu. At each meal, pause when you feel about 80% full. It is not about measuring or calculating. It is about tuning into your body's signals. You should feel satisfied, but not stuffed, content, but not sleepy. Week 2, extend your overnight fast gradually. Start with 12 hours between your last meal and your first meal. If you finish dinner at 7 p.m., do not eat until 7 a.m. Once this feels comfortable, stretch it to 14 hours, then 16. Week 3, transform your morning routine. Instead of immediately eating solid food, start with fresh vegetable juice or herbal tea. Wait 20 minutes, then have a light, nutrient-dense meal focused on vegetables, healthy fats, and high-quality proteins. Week 4, optimize your main meal. Following the Okinawan model, make this a celebration of colorful whole foods: purple sweet potatoes, leafy greens, seaweed, tofu, and small amounts of fish or lean meat. Season with turmeric, ginger, and garlic, all autophagy enhancers. What can you expect as your cellular cleanup crews get back to work? The changes happen in waves, just like Dr. Suzuki observed in his Centenarians. Days 1 to 7, you will notice improved energy, especially in the late afternoon when you used to crash. Your sleep will deepen as your body shifts into its natural repair rhythms. Weeks 2 to 4, mental clarity improves dramatically. That afternoon, brain fog disappears. Your skin starts looking clearer, more radiant. You might notice your clothes fitting better, even without weight loss. Your body is becoming more efficient. Months 2 to 6, this is where the magic really shows up. Your immune system strengthens. Minor aches and pains start disappearing. People begin commenting that you look younger, more vibrant. Your energy becomes steady throughout the day instead of spiking and crashing. As this story continues, it is important to step back and recognize the deeper meaning behind everything these scientists uncovered. Beyond the data, beyond the laboratories, and beyond the statistics, there is a powerful truth quietly revealed through their lives. Longevity was never treated as a goal to chase. It was a natural byproduct of alignment with rhythm, moderation, and respect for the body's internal intelligence. What struck Dr. Suzuki most in his later years was not the age of the centenarians, but their mindset. They did not obsess over health. They did not count calories, measure biomarkers, or chase the newest scientific trend. Instead, They lived with purpose. They woke up each day with something to do, someone to care for, and a reason to remain engaged with the world around them. This sense of meaning, what Okinawans call ikigai, appeared again and again in his interviews. Even those with physical limitations spoke with clarity, humor, and gratitude. Their bodies aged, but their spirit remained intact. Dr. Osumi, reflecting on his Nobel Prize decades later, once remarked that the greatest discoveries often come not from chasing outcomes, but from observing nature patiently. Autophagy, he believed, was never meant to be forced. It was designed as a silent guardian, activating when the body was given space rather than excess. His research reshaped how scientists understood aging, not as a steady decline, but as a dynamic balance between damage and repair. This shift in understanding has profound implications. Aging is no longer seen solely as the accumulation of wear and tear. It is also shaped by how often the body is allowed to restore itself. In this way, time becomes an ally rather than an enemy. Each quiet hour of repair, each uninterrupted cycle of renewal, contributes to resilience at the cellular level. This is not dramatic or visible in the moment, but over years and decades, its impact becomes unmistakable. Dr. Hara embodied this philosophy until the very end of his life. Colleagues often noted that he never spoke about retirement. He believed stopping one's contribution to society accelerated decline more than any biological factor. To him, work was not stress. It was stimulation. It was evidence that the mind still had a role to play. Even in his final years, he planned lectures years in advance, fully expecting to be there to deliver them. What all these lives illustrate is that longevity is not built on a single habit or discovery. It is a mosaic. Small, consistent patterns repeated over time create an environment where the body can thrive. When these patterns are disrupted, the system struggles. When they are respected, the system flourishes. Modern science is now catching up to what these centenarians lived instinctively. Research institutions around the world are validating the same principles through different lenses. Cellular repair, metabolic flexibility, gut health, and circadian alignment are no longer fringe ideas. They are becoming central pillars of preventive medicine. Yet the elegance of the Okinawan lifestyle remains unmatched in its simplicity. There is also a quiet warning embedded in this story. As cultures modernize, convenience often replaces wisdom. Speed replaces patience. Abundance replaces moderation. Dr. Suzuki expressed concern that future generations may inherit advanced technology but lose ancient biological harmony. His hope was that by documenting these lives, the lessons would survive even if the traditions faded. Ultimately, this journey is not about extending life at any cost. It is about preserving vitality, clarity, and independence for as long as possible. It is about reaching advanced age without surrendering curiosity or joy. The Japanese pioneers featured in this story did not fear aging because they trusted the process. They trusted their bodies to respond when treated with restraint and respect. As science continues to explore the boundaries of human longevity, one message remains constant. The body is not fragile. It is adaptive, responsive, and remarkably capable of renewal. When given time, it remembers how to heal. When given balance, it remembers how to endure. This is the legacy of Okinawa, not a promise of immortality, but a reminder of what is possible when life is lived in rhythm rather than resistance. The secrets were never hidden. They were simply quiet, waiting for those willing to observe, listen, and honor the wisdom already written within the human body. As I finish writing this, Dr. Makoto Suzuki is still conducting research at 92 years old. He recently took up a new instrument, a 3-string sanli, proving that the curiosity and joy of learning that characterizes his centenarians continues to drive him forward. Dr. Osumi's Nobel Prize research has spawned thousands of studies, all confirming what he discovered in those yeast cells decades ago. Your body has an incredible capacity for self-renewal, but only when you give it the right conditions. The wisdom these Japanese pioneers discovered is not locked away in expensive treatments or complicated protocols. It is available to anyone willing to work with their body's ancient rhythms instead of against them. Tonight, as you finish your last meal a little earlier than usual, remember that you are not just changing your eating schedule. You are awakening cellular repair systems that have been waiting for this signal for perhaps years or even decades. You are joining a tradition that stretches back through generations of the world's longest lived people. Your transformation begins with a single choice, giving your body the gift of time to heal, repair, and regenerate itself. The results, as thousands of Japanese centenarians can attest, are nothing short of extraordinary. If this journey into the secrets of cellular regeneration has inspired you to unlock your body's hidden potential, please type yes in the comments below. Your engagement helps us continue sharing this life-changing research. Hit that like button if you are ready to start your own longevity journey. Share this with someone who needs to hear these secrets, and subscribe for more evidence-based discoveries that could add decades to your life. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey to optimal health and longevity.